What's an Ashes series without a little bit of controversy, right? I mean, the off-field banter and controversy is what often contributes to making the Ashes such a must-watch series, but it does seem like we've finally gotten the first real on-field controversial call of the 2025-26 Ashes, and it involves England wicketkeeper-batter Jamie Smith. Now, contentious decisions in the world of cricket are nothing new, but the scrutiny always goes up when it is a marquee high-profile series, which of course the Ashes, I would argue, is arguably the most marquee and the most high-profile series in Test cricket. So what's the decision? Well, it came about at this point in time when Jamie Smith was dismissed. And as you can see, there was a Snicko check. It was given not out, but a DRS call saw them actually look for a caught behind. And the thing is that whilst there is a clear nick, as you can see on the right side of your screen, when the bat seems near the ball, then you look at the left and see that there's a clear gap between bat and ball, and what makes it worse is that there's a snick coming at that point in time. What exactly is causing the disturbance? We don't know, but it's not wise to blindly trust Snicko and only look at it from a perspective that, okay, whatever it's saying is absolutely true, because we've seen enough decisions where there are disturbances even when the bat and ball or the bat and pad are nowhere near, which is exactly what you can see is the case here. The bat is nowhere near the pad, and based on what you can see on your left, it's nowhere near the ball either. So what was causing that? Well, more frames led to the umpire to come to the conclusion that even if it was coming as a disturbance after the ball had passed, that was enough proof that potentially there was a nick. And in fact, what made it worse was that Jamie Smith started walking off the field after a few minutes. And despite that, there was a debate still going on with the third umpire as to whether or not it should be given out. It took a full 5 minutes, by the way, for this to finally be given out. And when it happened, there was a lot of outrage on social media. In fact, I dare say it was a mixed reaction, but a lot of people saying what exactly is going on. Let's take a look at some of the best reactions. So you've got this from an English fan saying Jamie Smith should refuse to walk off because that is a abysmal piece of umpiring, disgraceful. Well, that's a strong call, but then it was agreed upon by another Aussie fan who points out saying that as an Aussie, Jamie Smith being out there is a bit of a joke. Maybe he did hit it, but if it takes 4 minutes and you cannot tell, go with the umpire's call or give the benefit of the doubt to the batter. Pretty stiff there. Then you've got this other fan saying, how's Jamie Smith out? Wow. And a bigger one here coming from this account saying, terrible decision. Unbelievable. Jamie Smith has been given out caught behind after about 5 minutes of replays showing the noise being inconsistent with the placement of the bat and ball. And that part really is key. However, what may have clinched it is what this fan is saying, that the umpiring here, this umpire is insane. Jamie Smith has walked off the field and he's going to give him not out. Unreal scenes. Now, of course, this fan was making the call before it was finally giving out, but it says everything about the entire fiasco and how it played out, that Jamie Smith has started to walk off, but there was still a debate going on. So really, there's two ways to look at it. One is, of course, how it is that this fan is looking, is that there were inconsistencies, and the inconsistencies made it clear that, see, the placement of the bat and ball was problematic. However, the fact that Smith walked off means that maybe he did know that he'd edged it, and when the spike started showing up, he ended up walking. Of course, could very well be that he'd walked off knowing that with the Snicko edge showing, he'd be given out, even if he didn't quite believe it. But it is definitely one of those contentious ones. And whilst on first viewing, I did think it was harsh because, again, the consistency with the frame-to-frame movement wasn't quite there. On second thought, the fact that Smith walked told me perhaps that maybe he knew he'd edged it. It was only a matter of time before he'd be given out. But it's definitely one that's divided a lot of opinions. What's your take on it? Let us know that in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon. Follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X, and Facebook. And stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.